Can we just start off by you offering your own personal tribute to the late Gordon Banks?
Yeah, I think when you're involved as an England player, as I was, and then manager, you look back on the team that won the World Cup in particular as the standard bearers for everything before and since, and Gordon was such a key part of that team. And I think when you met him and you speak to people about him, his personal characteristics come to the fore in that assessment as well. You know, we revere people as footballers, but actually when we meet them, it's more how we find them as people that means more. And my experiences of meeting Gordon were somebody of great humility and humour, and wonderful ambassador for the game, as well as being such an iconic figure within the world of football.
You mentioned the humility there. It almost struck me as almost a reluctant legend in a way.
Yeah, I think the best people have that quality, and he viewed himself as somebody that had done an extraordinary job but was an ordinary person, and I think you would never have known from meeting him what he'd achieved within football, and he didn't expect to be treated any differently to anybody else, so he had fantastic personal qualities.
He achieved so much, as you say, a key member of the '66 World Cup winning side, and he helped Stoke City, our club, win their only major honour, the League Cup in 1972. Just makes you wonder how much more he would have achieved if his career hadn't been cut short by a terrible accident.
Yes, I mean, I think any player whose career is curtailed by an injury or an accident, you feel enormously for them, because so much of their own self-worth exists around their career, and you have such a short period of time to enjoy that part of your life. So I'm sure he, that would have been a huge blow for him to recover from. But I never heard him talk about that in a negative way at all. He was a very positive person, and he, I think, looked back on the good things that had happened rather than spend time, going over that, what must have been a really difficult situation for him to deal with.
As you mentioned, you had met him. You didn't know him particularly well, but are there any particular anecdotes that you've got? Any memories of Gordon in particular?
Well, the main one was that I was asked to attend a tribute to Pelé that Gordon spoke at, and there was the fact that they had this rapport from having, gone through the game in Mexico, and that high-profile match. But there was how Gordon revered Pelé, but more importantly, there was how Pelé revered Gordon, and that was telling in terms of his status on the world stage and how the game worldwide viewed him as such an iconic figure.
It was a great line from Pelé that he said that he was glad that Gordon made that iconic save because it brought them together as friends. It's a remarkable thing to say, really, isn't it?
No, absolutely. I think it tells you a lot about the sportsmanship within the game, particularly at that time, and two people at the very top of the game who shared that humility, had achieved incredible things, but to them that friendship was more important perhaps than what had happened on the pitch.
I know Jack Butland counts himself as very fortunate to have made Gordon a friend and quite an inspiration. To have that sort of relationship with such an iconic figure can only sort of help you as a person and as a player as well, can't it?
Well, I think all young players look for role models in life, and when you have somebody that's a legend of the club that you're at, who's played in your position and is accessible to be able to speak to and learn from, then it's an obvious opportunity. And Jack, being the type of person he is, will have taken a great deal from that, and will recognise what Gordon had achieved, and the opportunity to learn from such a great role model.
They say never meet your heroes, but I don't think that applied to Jack and Gordon.
No, I think it's a good point, because we often say that, and we can be disappointed at times, but I think anybody that met Gordon wouldn't have felt that way for sure.
Finally, how do you think he'll be remembered by the English football watching public?
Well, what has struck me is that I've been at 8 or 9 matches over the last fortnight at different parts of the country, and unanimous reception at all of those grounds, from home supporters, away supporters, has overridden some really intense club rivalries in the games that I've been at. Everybody recognises what he gave to English football. Everybody recognises his character and the smile and his positive outlook on things. And of course he will always be remembered as, you know, the goalkeeper that won the World Cup for England, and that is such a unique position to be in. So I think the combination of all of those factors is why he's revered in the way he is.